Welcome back to Suno Maxing, the community dedicated to helping you get the most out of creating tracks in Suno. Today's topic: if you've ever created a track or song that sounds good but is really just a little bit flat, well, chances are you are not using parentheses or you are using them incorrectly. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if this is a term you've never heard of when it comes to Suno, let me do a quick explanation. Parentheses are a way for you to provide direction on your music. You can do that at a line level or even a section. But just to give you an example, let's say I'm creating a rap song and I want to do some ad-libs. I could use parentheses to accomplish this. I could also use it to change song direction. Maybe I want to go from happy to sad. I could also use it to maybe linger on a specific word or have instruments rise and fall. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with this. So the whole goal of today's video, get you on board with using parentheses when you prompt in Suno 2026. That right there was just for the SEO. Now, I got to warn you, if you do stick around, you listen and you do implement these, what's going to happen? You're going to make better music altogether. But I think the biggest win is that you're going to be able to sculpt these tracks to your vision. And I think that's what's important. What we're making music for. We have an idea, we have a vision, we want to bring it. So stick around. We'll go ahead and talk about parentheses, what they are, how to use them. And then most importantly, we'll jump into a live demonstration of how to bring this to life and put it into action with your tracks. All right, let's break this down real quick before we jump into the fun part. So parentheses and Suno prompts. They're basically your secret director notes. You drop them right after a lyric line, like this. Coffee's cold on the table again, soft whisper. And Suno treats that stuff inside the parenthesis as instructions just for that line or section. Suno's actually really smart about picking these up. It detects common vocal directions super well. Things like whisper or spoken. That will change how the singer delivers it. It could make it intimate or talky. Harmony or layered vocals. This adds background singers or stacks for depth. Echo or reverb. This throws in effects that makes it drift or feel bigger. Emotional vibes like sad or excited. It can shift the tone, making the voice sound sad or excited. It also catches some instrumental cues like swell or instruments pick up. The production breathes or builds right there. The cool part, Suno applies this locally, only to that specific line. So you can mix it up without messing the whole song. Not perfect every time. Sometimes it ignores super weird ones. But for the basics we're playing with today, it nails it consistently. Honestly, that's the gist. Parentheses are just lightweight commands to guide the AI without overcomplicating your main prompt. Enough talking about this, let's actually take a verse and show you what it looks like to do. Before we get into things, we're looking at a pop song that I created. I took one verse and a chorus and I duplicated it 4 times. Each verse we add a little bit more in terms of parentheses, but where we're starting is verse 1, where there is no direction, no parentheses. Let's take a listen.
Coffee's cold and the table again. Agenda still on at 3 p.m. Falls in silent, don't wanna pretend. Just scrolling slow till the day ends. Sunlight creams across the floor. Blankets tangle, wanting more and more. No pens calling, no rush at all. Letting minutes rise and fall.
Okay, that was verse 1. It was okay, but really lackluster. Everything was just kind of the same. It didn't inflect really. There was no change in direction. It didn't rile me up. It just kept me flat the whole way through. Let's take a look at verse 2 where we get into some parentheses. On verse 2, there's a lot going on. I'm not going to call them all out, but we have a couple of the cool ones. Gentle fade on last word, soft echo on vocals, lazy drawn out delivery, faint backing vocals, and instruments breathe. I don't know how many of these Suno will pick up on. Let's go ahead and give it a listen.
Coffee's cold on the table again. Quick jam is still on at 3 p.m. For the side, don't wanna pretend. Just scrolling slow till the end. Sunlight creeps across the floor. Blankets tango anymore. No hands crawling, no rush at all. Head in this rise and fall. Let me house you.
That was verse 2, and I am going to score it about a 70%. The reason I'm going to focus on 70%, not giving it 100, there are some things I directly heard, and there were some things that I don't really believe it matched the parentheses. Let's start with what I heard for sure. I did hear the gentle fade on the last word. I kind of heard the instrumentals breathing. I did hear soft echo on vocals, gentle whisper in background. Um, well, I kind of heard gentle whisper in background. I'd have to re-listen to it. I don't think it I think it might have hallucinated what it was saying. We might have to listen to that again, but just know that that's there we go. We're deducting points. The lazy drawn out delivery really wasn't what I was expecting. I was really wanting it to kind of just slow down and whatever, right? Now, the reverb, I think there was a little bit of a swell, and I did hear the faint backing vocals, but it didn't match what I had in my head. So, altogether, I'd give this about a 70%. Now, what's really awesome is keep in mind, if you got 70%, you want to go hard for that 100, you can always replace a section and you could try to go ahead and re-roll the dice and see what comes up. Let's go ahead and move on to verse 3. We're actually going to call it at verse 3, but let's just talk a little bit about what's put in here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but spoken casually, slight melancholic tone, building emotional warmth, distant echoing vocals, subtle swirl, bittersweet delivery, rising harmonies, vocals linger with reverb tail, soft instrumental pickup underneath. These are just a few of the different directions that we're trying to take these individual lines. I don't think all of them are going to hit, but let's see what comes out so we know, hey, what should we focus on and what should we maximize? Uno Max.
Coffee's cold on the table again. Pajamas still on at 3 p.m. Phone's on silent, I wanna pretend. Just scroll as it slow till the end. Sunlight creeps across the floor. Latest tango wanting more. No plans calling, no rush at all. Letting minutes rise and fall. Let me out.
Wow, verse 3 was not what I was expecting. I If I had to give this a score, I'd probably call this a 50 out of 100. And what's funny is, and this could just be me, maybe I didn't really listen to it as fully as I should have, but I want to say it only started picking up the direction halfway through. The beginning half was really missed. I mean, at the end, it was very apparent. We had vocals lingering with that reverb tail. I think where I really noticed that this was working was the subtle swirl on the just scrolling slow line, right? But other than that, everything before it just really seemed like a miss. And that just kind of leads us back to, hey, what are we going to do? Are we okay with it being a miss? Does that match our vision? Do we want to try to replace the section and re-roll? Or should we try this again, but maybe be a little bit more deliberate in how we prompt? Should every line really carry a different, delivery or sentiment? I don't think it should personally, but these are the things that you need to think of while you're going through this. Wow, that leaves us on a cliffhanger. No, I'm just joking. There's no cliffhanger. What I want you to get out of today's video is the fact that parentheses are a great tool in Suno to help you really just take your song to the next level. If you like this video, please be sure to like, subscribe. If you hate AI music, please drop your hate comments down below. I know a lot of people think AI slop, AI trash. We're so selective with our AI outrage. I love reading it and I'd love to have a conversation with you if that's how you feel. So, by all means, AI hate comments, drop them down below too. They're very respected and part of our community at this point. Speaking of community, if you are looking for a place to network with other music creators, people who are interested in Suno AI music, prompting, making good tracks, or just sharing music together, getting some eyes on what you're doing, please join our Suno Maxing community. It is free. There's a link in the description. Hit that thing, go there. I'll see you inside of it. Other than that, you have yourself a great day.